spokesperson for the Computer Emergency Response Team is Declan Ingram. A short time ago, I asked him whether any of the reported cases of WannaCry cyber attacks here had been confirmed.
We're working with those two on a case-by-case basis.
Okay, so this is possibilities, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, how long will it be before you know?
It depends. As people report them in, we work with them to find out the exact nature of the issue that we're having. The difficulty can become because there's obviously not just one ransomware campaign that's happening at any one time, and so the media around this particular one has meant that others are reporting in other campaigns as well, and as well as general security, information security issues that we deal with, and so that's why we work through each of them individually.
Right, so this may not in fact be WannaCry ransomware, it could be something else.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, and so I guess at some level this has been an awareness-raising exercise, right?
Yes, it certainly has, and it's very good to get the preventative messages out there to save people not just from this particular one, but from other information security problems as well.
Who are the people you're hearing from? There are lots of New Zealand companies with foreign parents who have been infected. Is it coming in that way, do you think, or are there other routes in?
The vulnerability itself is in the Microsoft Windows system, and so the computers that are affected are systems that haven't been kept up to date, and so that's why a key part of that messaging for protection is to make sure that people have all of their systems patched and up to date, make sure that their backups are up to date as well, and that they have the firewalls and antivirus software installed too.
Declan, forgive my ignorance, it's Windows 10 is the latest one, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so if you've got that, are you less vulnerable or are you completely safe? How does this work?
Well, you need to make sure that that your system is configured to keep itself up to date. Obviously, once you have the computer installed and running, it needs to make small changes to itself over time as problems are found and fixed. And so it's important that people have those configured. And if they're not comfortable doing that themselves, then they should probably get a technical savvy person in to give them a hand.
Don't Windows update as they go? Don't you get notifications from Windows saying, hey, there's a new version of this?
Yes, that's correct. And people have just got to make sure that they follow through there and that they make sure that their systems are configured to do that.
Okay, so it's nasty and it's a bully and it's opportunistic, but it's not invincible, this thing.
Yeah, so we became aware of it very early Saturday morning, and working with the global CERT community and people from all around the world joined together and started putting together to pull it apart and see how it worked. And certainly there's been some success there. There was a discovery of what's being referred to as the kill switch for one of the variants of it, and that certainly slowed it down a lot. But unfortunately, with these things, that once you go through and kill one part of it, then new variants come away, and then it sort of becomes a bit of a cat and mouse game with the future versions of it.
Gosh, it's fascinating, isn't it? And I don't mean that. I'm not making light of it, but boy, this is an interesting business. If people are listening and over the next day or two they think they may have been infected with it, if that's the right term, what do they do?
Well, they can report the infection via the CERT website, but the important thing that everyone needs to do is to make sure that their systems are patched and up to date. Make sure that they're very careful when they're opening emails or clicking on links or attachments, and to make sure that their firewalls and their antivirus software are installed up to date and fully operational.
Declan Ingram from CERT.